I should go there and have a meal. Didn't cost me a penny. Didn't cost me a penny. I went to that restaurant every day that I'm at Stets, and to the point I kind of get lonely going there by myself. So I started to take two of my friends with me when I go there. Every single day I went there to eat and did not pay a dime. I mean, I'll never forget that, man. You know, that is something I'll never forget. I'll never forget that. Amazing, amazing. Trust me, Mr. Olivier is a father many of us didn't have. And that's why we appreciate him so much, you know.
Hey, Coach, I'm not sure if you're there, Coach, but if you're there, your camera not on. Are you hearing us, Coach? Dennis, I'm going to give you a minute I'm going to remove him from the screen, give you a minute to call him and tell him his internet is unstable. So check the internet.
Okay.
All right, guys. So as Dennis would have spoken regarding Mike Mercy Olivier, we definitely see the type of a person he is. You know, he himself also an athlete, and that's a question that I have to ask him when he comes back on, because you know I've interviewed one of my teammates in terms of cricket who have moved on to the music industry, and he said what people didn't know, that you know the difficulty he was having just to get to St. Elizabeth Technical High School, to go to school, and he said he would be there in the morning. He have to get a bus back from White House to come to Stets, but they leave so early, but you have to catch that bus. So when he get to Stets, he's up by Stets by 4 o'clock in the morning. So guys, if we think we had struggle going to school, we have people out there who have bigger problem just to get to Stets. This guy will be out there at least by 4 o'clock in the morning. And what he said is that every morning that he goes, Olivier will be the one who will surprise him. He is coming up at that hour of the morning to do his workout first. So he said before anybody get there, Mike Olivier would have already run many laps, you know, have done his workout. But he was able to see this. So he wasn't just, what we didn't know is that he wasn't just asking students to do this. He was actually doing it himself. Mm-hmm. And also today, if you look at Mike Olivier, his physique, you know, he is still able to probably running a marathon right now, you know. And it's a discipline and the commitment that he has to the sports and in terms of empowering youths, you know, especially underprivileged youths. Because and I can tell you, yeah, back in the days when I was there at Stets, some of us, we didn't have it, didn't have all that it takes to get to Stets. And it's because of the names that he called earlier, Jonah Bennett and Mr. Dunswell, with himself, and they knew how to work with the principal. No matter which one of the principal, Shaka, or he spoke about Pottinger back then. But you know, Pottinger I wouldn't know much about. But I know Shaka was a tough one. But they would find a way to work with these principals to make sure that these youngsters, some of them, as I said, wasn't the brightest mind, but they got them into Stets and they were able to excel at their athletic career, or their track and field, or football. And it's because of the togetherness and they seeking out a way to help that particular student. And there's so many of us, you know, who is out there in today's world, who's making a good living of ourselves, who have to be very thankful to these individuals who has passed through St. Elizabeth Technical High School and Jamaica to the wider sense, because all of them went on to be a part of some of the Jamaican team. You know, Mr. Dunjol, we know, Jamaica football. And they talk about Jonah Bennett, Jamaica cricket. And they talk about athletics, Mike Olivier, you know, traveled a lot of those teams to carry the games to, you know, junior athletics champs, all of those things. But, you know, we have to give it up to Mike Olivier, even though we're having difficulty with him coming in. We know the weather is not as good. So, Dennis, we're back to you again, brother.
Yeah, I'm trying to reach out to him, but it seemed like he's still having some issues.
It's internet.
Yeah, internet is giving some problem there. Again, you know, like I said before, that Mr. Olivier not only was a coach, he was also a mentor. He was like a father. Many of us athletes were lacking in that regard, and he played that role. Mr. Olivier is a man with a lot of with great intuition. And one of the things that I can say about Mr. Olivier is that he has a way of communicating. He has a very good communication skills, and he used that not only with the athlete, not only in other areas such as interviews and stuff like that, but what he would normally do, he would when we do the workout and we're like can hardly breathe, what he would normally do is grab a piece of stick or maybe a baton or a shoes, and he would come to us and ask us questions as if, I think, and a lot of time, we at that time didn't realize what he was doing, but he was preparing us for interviews, possibly at the stadium, maybe when we are competing. I think that's what he was doing. That's what when I look back at it, that's what it turned out to be, that he was preparing us for those moments when we would be interviewed on radio or television. Again, every athlete that passed through Mr. Olivier Hand has their own story. And I believe that's one of the things that I'm trying to encourage him to do, is to put all those stories in a book form, so that we all can read it and the wider population can read it. So hopefully we'll be able to convince him to do that. But again, 91 athletic scholarship passed through his hand at Stets. I think that is a great, great achievement. I know he's back in St. Vincent and he's actually doing the same thing there. There are many athletes so far since he has been back that have gotten scholarship and here in the United States, competing and doing very well in their education as well. So.
All right, Dennis, since you're on the scholarship, would you just tell us how having a scholarship would have helped you personally, Dennis? You know, so through Mike Olivier doing everything, pulling every string that they can, because you say you didn't get through in the beginning, but he stood by you and he made sure you get a scholarship. Tell us, you know, the public, how and what did that do for you getting a scholarship so you could go overseas, actually in America where you are today?
Well, first of all, academically, I wasn't that strong in school. You know, academically, I wasn't that strong in school. But one other thing about me going to school is that I had like almost perfect attendance. You know what I mean? When I was going to school, I get present. You know, back then they give present for, you know, a lot of different things, and the present that I get was for attendance, and I remember that vividly. But academically, I wasn't that strong, so I think that is one of the main reasons why I ended up going to a junior college as opposed to going straight to a university, to sort of prepare me for university. In terms of how it helped me, I would say if I didn't get that opportunity, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't say that. I probably wouldn't be able to say that I have 2 degrees from university. So him doing what he did really and truly helped me. I'm able to live a better life as opposed to what I probably would have been living if I wasn't been able to achieve a scholarship. And I want to add that, and that was one of my questions that I was going to ask him, is athletes that are leaving for scholarship need to be prepared. I remember going to school when it comes summertime. All the kids are expected to leave the dormitory, but then you have people that are on scholarship from overseas, as far as Africa, and they don't have the bandwidth, they don't have the resources to go back home, so they have to stay somewhere. And where are they going to stay? So they have to make provision for us international athletes. I think athletes on a whole need to, you know, when they're leaving, like, for example, Jamaica to take up scholarship, they need to be able to be educated about these type of things, what to expect. I think that is one of the things that is lacking. They come to the United States and they get the shock of their life. And I think, you know, Daniel England talk about that Daniel England, when you look at Daniel England, who is a name brand athlete, but then he also wasn't able to even come home for the trials, right? And it's because he was not prepared. He didn't know what to expect when he got the scholarship and come to the United States. And you know, I think